What is up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And as you can see here today, we have the Circuit Rhythm on the table, and this has been a lot of fun to pick this device up and learn a few things about it. I've made some nice beats on this, and today I basically wanted to talk about a few reasons why I'm really enjoying using this device. So I think I've got about 5 different reasons that I want to talk through, so I'll make sure I use the bookmarkers so you can skip through if you want to. And just before I start guys, I do want to say that unfortunately I am having some problems with the filming of this device, which is a real shame because I wanted to do a lot of videos about this. I can't seem to stop the flickering on the pads. Now usually I just adjust the frame rate of my camera and that deals with it, but with this particular device, for some reason, I can't get it to lock in so that it's not flashing. I've done the absolute best that I can. If anyone's got any tips below that could solve this problem, please let me know. But yeah, I've managed to do that with the SP screen before, change the frame rate and allow it to look fine when I'm recording the videos. But for some reason with these pads, I just can't get it to sync up with my camera. So yeah, please leave that below if you have any tips for me. I can't figure it out right now. Anyway, let's get into point number 1. So first of all, the lightweight and portable nature of this device is absolutely incredible. You can see compared to my hands here, it's a very small format in terms of the size of it. It has a very thin profile, so compared to the SPs, for example, which are kind of chunky, you know, the SPs have got a profile of about this deep. This is literally about half of that. It has a slight lift towards the back, but overall, yeah, it's really portable, and that is a big thing about the devices that I talk about on this channel. Me, myself, and I know a lot of you as well, you really vibe on those devices which you can kind of stick in your rucksack, take to nice locations and make beats with. This is definitely one of those. And it is important to note as well that despite that, it still feels like a quality product. I think the pads feel really nice, the dials are nice and solid, and overall, yeah, it feels like a quality product. So that's the first point really. It's super lightweight, it's super portable, but that doesn't come at a cost of build quality, so a huge thumbs up for that. Leading on from that quite nicely and adding into the portability of it is the fact that this thing has a built-in battery. Now, I know this can divide opinion a little bit because built-in batteries aren't serviceable, so people see that as a downside. If anything happens to this battery, then it's a case of having to send this back to Novation or find a way of being able to get it fixed. With batteries that you just plug in, that's obviously not usually the case. You can just take batteries out and put new ones in, and that fixes any problems that you might be having. So there is arguments for and against it. I personally really enjoy it. This device came fully charged up, and straight away I was just all over the house cooking up, making different beats, and not having to worry about how I was going to power the device at all. So for me personally, I see it as kind of quite a big upside, and I can't remember off the top of my head how much battery life this has, but I'll put it on the screen for you guys. But yeah, I kind of like that idea. You know, when I'm taking the SP404 Mark II out, I have to consider how I'm going to power the device. I have to take either batteries or a power bank. With this, I don't need to think about it at all. I can charge it up in the studio, take it out and be able to make beats and videos. So for me, it's a big plus side. I don't know what you guys think. I'd love to know. Leave a comment below. Do you prefer a built-in battery or a serviceable battery, one that you can change yourself? Okay, the third thing, and this is actually a feature of the device, and that is the mixing area. I really vibe on the mixing area of this device. Now, I need to give you a quick sort of rundown of the workflow of this. All you really need to know is you can see here you've got channels 1 to 8, and each one of those is a separate track in essence. So for me, I've got my kicks on 1, my snares on 2, my hi-hats on 3, samples on 4, and then I've got the rest of the slots to add anything else that I want to, percussion or sub or bass. And the great thing is, once you go into the mixing area, which is just over here, just a button here that says mixer, you can see all the tracks here. And now each one of these dials at the top changes its usage. So you can ignore all the text underneath each one of these. You know, it says tune, start, length, slope, distortion, etc. That is no longer what those dials are doing. These are now just volume dials for each individual track. So I think that's a really nice, intuitive way of being able to mix your beats. It's kind of like switching into a mixing desk and having your individual tracks here and a dial above each one. I just think personally that's been really nicely thought out, and I just really find that experience nice and immersive and really intuitive. So yeah, that's a huge part of this for me really, is I really enjoy the mixing on it, definitely compared to the SP404 where you're having to press pads and change the volume for each one. This is a much more intuitive flow, I feel. So a big thumbs up on that side of things on this device. Okay, the next one is a huge one, and we've been crying out for this on the SP404 Mark II for a long time, and it's sidechaining. Now this has sidechaining built in. It's really powerful. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of how this works. For this example, all you need to know is that on track 4 I've got my melody, and on track 1 I've got my kicks. I'm going to sidechain the kicks against the melody to give it that pumping feel that we all want in our beats. So I'll just show you what the melody sounds like, and let me turn on the compressor on my SP404 Mark II. I'm running this through the SP so I can record into my computer. Okay, so that's the melody that I've got. I'm going to unmute the kicks as well, and I can show you the kick pattern. Okay, so we've got that as well, and all you need to do the sidechaining is, you see here there's a button that says Effects and Sidechain. So the top one is one click, the bottom one is double click. So double click that, and now we're into the sidechaining area. So for this example, I need to be on track 1 because I'm choosing the kick. So you choose your tracks up here. As I mentioned before, you've got tracks 1 to 8. My kick is on track 1, so I'm going to choose that. And this takes a little bit to get your head around, but basically below here, these are all the other tracks. So track 1, track 2, track 3, and track 4. Now track 4, as I mentioned before, that is where my melodies are on track 4. So this is where I want to apply the sidechaining. And basically the red indicator on the left here says that it's off. I obviously don't want it off, so let's move it up to say halfway. And let's listen to that again. I'll put my compressors on the SP on again. And let's turn that off. I'll put it up to full. Okay, so pretty powerful stuff. You could hear there I was getting a really nice sidechain with the kick against the main melodic sample that I've chopped up there, and that's sounding really, really nice. So yeah, that's a massive feature that we lack on the SP404 Mark II in my opinion. We really need that at some point. Hopefully Roland will implement that soon, but yeah, on the Circuit Rhythm it comes out of the box, and you can hear there hopefully how powerful that is. You can get some really nice pumping using that area of the device. Okay, we're on to the last point now, and I've already kind of alluded to this a little bit, but the main thing about this device, and the reason why I have come to love it so much and so quickly, is because it's very, very easy to learn and understand. I've just found the whole learning curve with this extremely easy. If you have any experience with samplers before, honestly guys, you'll find this an absolute breeze. I think the only thing that held me back originally, I think it's the main thing with everything really, is how do I record into this thing? Once you record into this thing and drop a sample in, you're pretty much away. It's so intuitive the way it's laid out. You've got your tracks at the top here, so you can see the patterns. This is my kick pattern, this is my snare pattern, my hi-hats, my chops, and like I mentioned before, the mixing area as well. The dials at the top of each channel are controlling the level. It's just a super, super easy workflow and really easy to get your head around. Now, obviously, I don't really want to go into too much detail about it. I probably could do a whole video about the workflow and how everything works on this device. All you need to know really is that it's really, really easy to pick this device up if you've got any experience with samplers. And for that reason, I've been having an absolute blast for it. That is a huge hurdle when you pick up a new piece of gear. You're so excited to use it, but you have to get around this whole sort of concept of learning where everything is, learning what everything can do. I just think with this device, it seemed really, really easy. So like I've probably already said, that is one of the big reasons why I've come to really enjoy this device, and I was able to get some beats laid down on this within a few hours of getting this out of the box. So I'll just show you some of the beats that I've been making actually. Here's a quick example. I've got 4 beats here. I'll just play a little bit from each one so you can get an idea of the sort of sound that this thing can create. And like I mentioned before, I am running this through my SP with my secret source bus 3 and 4, so you'll hear the compressors on this as well. But overall, the combination of the two devices, the SPs over here, it sounds really, really good. Okay, there we go. There's some examples of the beats that I've been cooking up. There's almost enough there for a little EP, I feel. Maybe I could add a few more beats and I could do a release. All of those beats as well actually have variations and little things like that. I just decided to show you the main loops for those examples. So that's it for this one, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to check out all my links in the description for beat packs, merchandise, all those kinds of things that keep my channel funded. That'd be greatly appreciated. Huge shout out to my members for their continued support over the months. I will see you all in another video very, very soon.